Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to ESA Summer Online. We are raising money for Alzheimer Fund. Links to donate can be found below the stream. We would also like to thank Kaspersky, Twitch, and ViewSonic for sponsoring this event. Actually, there was a language bid war for the next run, so I'm gonna tell you the results. And Japanese won, so we're playing this game with the Japanese language option. I would also like to remind you that there is a bid war for the next run, which is Crypt of the Necrodancer, and you can change the soundtrack we will have for this game. Currently in the lead is the Family Jewels soundtrack with $40, so it's quite a steal to get your choice to win. And now it's time for Sunny Muffin running Biped. Take it away!
Hello everybody, I'm Sunny Muffin, and this is Biped. We're going to be running through this game as quickly as we possibly can. Japanese won the bid war, so we're going to be playing in Japanese. Good thing, these menus don't change from language to language. So we're going to go ahead and get started right away. I'm going to give you a countdown for the timer. Let's get going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, so this is Biped. In this game, you play as this little two-legged robot. This robot doesn't have any arms, so we're going to be solving puzzles completely with our feet. It leads to some very interesting challenges. One of the weird things about this game is the way it controls. So there's basically two ways to move your biped around. The first is to be using the joysticks. Each joystick controls each individual leg. The second way that you're going to see is sliding. You can only slide on certain surfaces. Basically anything in this game that looks smooth you can slide on. And a lot of the speed tech for this category in specific is going to be kind of abusing that sliding tech whenever you can. One of the things that's unique about it is it does kind of maintain its momentum as you move onto a sticky surface. So like right here, I have a sticky surface and I can't slide on it. But if I were to slide into it, I would maintain that momentum and I would keep going quite fast. So this is the first level. This is biped training. It's nothing special. There's only really a certain amount that you can go fast in here. For those of you that are familiar with other speed games, this level is entirely cycle based. So that blocker right there, there's 2 cycles that I can hit. Right there I hit the second cycle, and that's all dependent on how fast I do the tutorial section. The tutorial section is kind of time gated. You can only do it so quickly, and to get the fast cycle is actually really challenging. I personally only get it probably like 1 out of every 100 tries. It's really hard to do. But yeah, so you can see me just kind of cruising through this level. This game has a lot of shape-based puzzles where you have to do various things with shapes. So right there I had to put each foot onto the different platforms and just kind of move on from there. So yeah, that's level 1. It goes by pretty quick. There are 8 levels in this game. Each of them they get a little bit more complicated as they go on. Basically, we're going to be introducing a new concept in every single level as we move throughout, and then level 8 kind of wraps up a lot of the larger concepts. So moving straight on to level 2, this is the wood. I'm going to do a skip right here, or attempt to do a skip right here. I'm going to give it 1 try. It's really hard to do, and it doesn't, it saves maybe half a second, but it's pretty cool. So I'm gonna have to post my leg up on this little log right here. I don't have the angle for it. Okay. So now it saves no time, but that's okay. So yeah, and just kind of yeet myself over. Really all that does is it skips a switch that opens up that door, but it lines me up perfectly for the cutscene after. So one thing about cutscenes in this game is you have a little bit of time, when the cutscene is ending, though you regain control. So I do a little bit of blind movement on every single cutscene in this game, when you lose control. It's just it's needed to go fast. Right here, this section, you have to kind of maintain momentum through it, and I didn't. So you kind of fall off right there. Not the biggest deal in the world. You just lose a little bit of time, but in an ideal world, you can actually maintain your momentum of a slide through that entire thing. If you're not going fast enough, you just fall off like I did. So not a big time loss. In this game, deaths really aren't super, they're not really that risky. We got another skip coming up here. This one's actually really hard to do. So basically, I'm trying to get my leg into a certain position where I can land on this little ledge right here. And this skips an entire puzzle, which, as you know with speedruns, skipping puzzles is very fast. We like to go fast. This game also has these little rail sections where you just do absolutely nothing, which is cool. It kind of gives you a break between the tight, intense platforming bits. That switch goes over too. That's cool. So yeah, in this section I have to match these shapes to the shapes on the door, and you go like that. These platforms fall, and I fall off right there. Yeah, so earlier, since I missed the skip the first try, so I'm on a different cycle than I'm used to, but not a big deal. This level, like, it all really comes down to the end section anyway. Like, not the biggest deal in the world if you fall off early. And there are actually a couple of different skips that you can do here. So if I was on a different cycle, I would do a skip that goes around the right-hand side, but it's actually, like, really, really hard to do, and it hardly saves any time unless the log is in, like, the exact wrong position. So right here, this is like the puzzles of this game. So you see the pattern on the wall right there. I gotta go put that pattern into the shapes that are on the into like the switches that are right here. So I take my biped, I make sure to throw them off the cliff because that gives me a consistent positioning on the biped, and then I do this puzzle. These puzzles are actually really weird because you can't do them too fast. If you do them too fast, it like eats your input, and that wastes a lot of time. So we don't want to do that. I will take my time and get them nice and consistent every single time. But yeah, cool thing about this game, you can just make your little biped dance right here. So he's just like doing a helicopter. Just kind of waiting to get onto this platform over here. I probably could have made that cycle, but it's really, really risky. And if you fall off, you can't make the next cycle. So I won't do that. Yeah, so for those of you that have played this game before, you've probably played the co-op version of it. The co-op version uses the same maps as the single player, but the puzzles are like entirely different. So in single player, like more of the stuff is catered toward just having one biped. So right here, like in the co-op version, you're alternating legs with your other biped. In the single player version, you have to dodge all these blockers and all these other various things. But yeah, so again, this is the solo any percent version. There's also the all stars version. So the main collectible of Biped are these big star shaped coins. And right now, so you see right there, I got 0 out of 5 that are available on that level because we're trying to go fast. We don't want to go out of our way to pick up those various things. So yeah, we're moving into the canyon level here. This is probably actually my favorite level. So this is just kind of a demonstration of some of the physics in this game. We have these little like rotating barrels, I guess they are, and depending where you're standing on them, they rotate. So on this one, I need to stand all the way over to the right, and the more right I am, the faster this thing rotates. I need to get it around to this point so I can walk my way across. And then a lot of the sliding in this level is optimized so I don't hit the little cracks. The little cracks just basically eat your movement entirely, and you have to re-accelerate. Re-accelerating is slow. I want to be able to hit top speed and go across. This level also introduces like the seesaw mechanic, where we have these like little seesaws that you have to wait on one side and move them to the other. We're going to see the first one coming up here. So this is single player, and I don't have a helper friend. So this dude is going to be nice. He's going to help me, and I'm going to then immediately betray his trust and drop him off the cliff. Oh, no, okay. So there's a way you can skip this puzzle and not use the dude, and I am failing at it miserably, which is okay. So basically, I wait down the right-hand side, and then he hops on, and I shift off the other side. There we go. And then he falls to his doom. I assume it's his doom, but he does respawn, so don't worry about the robot. He's still fine. We're good to go. This is another skip right here. I skip one of those auto-scrollery sections. Just kind of shimmy my way through here and land on the platform below. So yeah, that just skips one of those like little grind sections, like pretending that you're Tony Hawk and grinding on the rail. So there are 2 different bipeds in this game. So right now I'm playing as the pink biped. The blue biped is square. That's the way to tell the difference. And both of them behave the exact same. Nothing different between the two, and which is really nice because you just randomly get which one they assign you. Just at the beginning of the level, it randomly picks one. They have the same hitbox, which is kind of awkward because one of them is a circle, one of them is a square. Yeah, this is like probably the most aggravating puzzle to do quickly because it is like 3-dimensional seesaw, and I don't want to screw this up, so we're gonna take our time. But right there, I still betray the robot, don't worry. he is still going to fall to his doom. He'll respawn right there though, not a big deal. Yeah, so this is the end of the canyon level. We're going to be finishing it up, hopping into this this pod right here and rolling down the hill. So yeah, if you have any donations, feel free to read them.
Sure. We have a donation from Panda Moose over $13.37 saying, "Hey Mr. Muffins, good luck on the run. Don't forget you have to go fast and warm up those robot saw feet." And all of the donation is going towards the Super Mario 64 70-star randomizer bonus run. So we have a lot of great bid wars and incentives that you can put your donation towards, so you can unlock special bonus runs or features or cutscenes. You may want to take a look and keep those donations coming. Thank you.
Alright, so we're moving into Rainy Ruins. This level is probably the most different from co-op because I only have access to 2 feet. So if this wasn't in Japanese, you would see that these switches say feet. So I have to put 1 foot on this switch and it will go ahead and trigger, causing this wall to fall. Now, if this were co-op, you would have 2 robots and you could use both of them to do these puzzles. But right here, this one is like telling me, hey, you don't have enough feet, and I get to use my little helper friend right here and use him to be an extra foot for me and go ahead and trigger the switch. Additionally, there's these like platforms right here. This one, I only can have 1 foot on at any given time, or it gets smaller. So a little bit of the acceleration at work right there. I can just kind of slide across those gaps. If you're going slowly, you can't actually do that. It doesn't work. You just fall into the hole, and it's tragic, and you waste a bunch of time. But yeah, just kind of using my helper robots, getting across here. That robot actually is really trolly, because you can just like randomly pick it up with your foot, and it's not fun. So now we have this pirate robot right here. I think he's probably a good guy. We should probably trust him. So we're gonna trust him. Turns out he betrays us and throws us into this hole. This is probably like the most RNG of this section. You can actually get like a bounce out of that tunnel that gets you all the way to this like slope over here, but I didn't get it, so I wasted about a second there. Rip second, sorry. So just kind of moving on through these puzzles. This one I have to have 2 feet on, and as you're going to see, it's going to get smaller. I want to make sure that I get it close enough where I can cross the gap over there. This is probably the most aggravating puzzle of the thing. I have to take this little helper robot and drop him precisely off this cliff, and then get onto 1 foot immediately. Yeah, this one just gives me like the most trouble in practice. It's super hard to do quickly. I'm glad I got it nice and quick there. So moving across, we have our first skip of this level here. This one requires you to do like a big puzzle where you actually have one of the robots span multiple switches, but instead I can just kind of climb this wall right here. It's rainy, so it's a little slippery. You can forgive the biped. The biped doesn't have really good traction, so climbing up that wall is kind of difficult. And then moving on, this is the second to last puzzle. This dude right here, I don't know how he got up there, but he's trapped. So we gotta go help him. I'm gonna hop on this moving platform right here, and this guy is just gonna kind of jump onto my platform. But if I stayed on the platform, it would get smaller and we would both die. So actually, in the individual level run of this world, you can actually get the biped to kind of like stall on the edge of that platform. And you'll just sit there, and it won't count you as having any actual feet on the platform. And you'll just keep going with the robot, and you can save about 5 seconds there. It's really hard to do, and in no way is marathon consistent, so I'm not going to do it right now. But if you're interested in all, the individual levels of this game are like absolutely ridiculous. A Chinese runner named Arja is like super good at this game, and if you want to watch some of his ILs, they're like absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, he's like really good, and some of the strategies he does are just like super cool. So yeah, I'm saving my friend right here from the pirate robot, hopping onto the platform. This saves a little bit of time because it immediately starts his sequence of walking across. And then we're going to go ahead and finish this out. There's a big 20-foot puzzle here, and I don't have 20 feet, so I need a lot of friends to flip this switch. So I gotta help my friend across. Not a big deal. And we're gonna do this 20-foot puzzle. Big wall goes down. Rainy Ruins is done. 424. That's actually like really good for Rainy Ruins. IL is only like 410 something, so that was the really quick one. So this is Snow Peak. This is probably the most technical level. This is one that like really just gives me a hard time in practice. We gotta get this first skip here, which I don't think I'm gonna get. No. Okay, so I missed the first skip. Basically, you want to like kind of get your foot onto this thing and then use it, but unfortunately that didn't work, so I gotta go the long way around. And now the big time loss from that actually comes from a cycle that's like in the middle of this level. So in the middle of this level, there's like 2 gears, and this game is on a global cycle where those gears start moving right when the level starts. So I can only save so much time and still hit the cycle. It's about a 20-second rotation on these gears, and there's 2 different cycles that I get. One of them I have to go really fast through the first part of the level. The other one I can take like 2.5 hours and it's fine, and I'll hit the second cycle. But again, there's like a 20-second difference between the 2, and not hitting the first cycle really does hurt. It hurts the overall time of this run, and yeah, it's not fun. But this is the mechanic for the Snow Peak level. I get to use my legs to attach to these ropes and use them to swing across. That's actually going to come into play at the very end of this level. There's a really large skip I can do if I'm good at the game, and I hope to be good at the game because it saves a bunch of time. We also get these little bumper thingies right here where you bounce off of them and they go up. These do make a return later on in the game as well. So a lot of these things actually do make a return later in the game. So yeah, we just kind of focus on going fast, sliding as much as we can. This level does have these little wall climbing sections where the camera gets really wonky. They're really hard to do. You really have to know like where you're going because sometimes your controls just don't like to cooperate. Doing a bit of off-screen movement here, landing on this one, and we're there. Alright, so I was talking about those gears earlier. Why is my foot stuck? Okay, that was really strange. But yeah, I was talking about those gears earlier. This ball is going to open up these gears, and yep, I'm actually really close. Okay, cool. So I'm on the bad cycle. Not a big deal. So we're just gonna have to wait, kind of hang out. We're gonna chill on this little platform right here. We're gonna have a nice biped dance party. We're gonna do some break dancing because that's all bipeds can do. That's their only style of dance that they have in their repertoire. They can't actually do any other styles. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of hang out, come over to this platform, and we'll finish it off. All right. So then immediately we have some more skips coming up. So I have another little skip. Just this stops me from having to kick another little spherical thingy off the top there and go to there. This is probably the hardest section of the run. I actually don't have any idea how this section works. Sometimes you get it first try and you get all the way up without having to alternate back. Sometimes like there, that wasn't too bad. I only had to alternate back once. Not the biggest deal in the world. Get over to here, and now we have some tornadoes. So like any good game, we have things that like to push you up. Those tornadoes do that. You can actually skip from one of these to the other, but it's really hard and it's very precise, and it doesn't actually save any time, so I'm not going to do it. Alright, we got big skip coming up. Hopefully I get it. Nope. Okay. So, you can see what I was trying to do there. You can get all the way to the top section there, and it saves a bunch of time, but that's probably like one of the more difficult tricks in the run, and it does save probably 15 seconds. Like optimally, so it's really unfortunate that I didn't get it, and I didn't get fast cycle. So this is going to be a nice slow run of biped. We're good. It's fine. Cool. All the way up, and we're moving on, and this is Snow Peak done. Alright, you got any other donations you want to read? Anything else you want to plug?
I do indeed have a donation from Nightmare. And it's a $50 donation, so thank you very much. And Nightmare says, "Let's go, Sunny!" Thank you very much, and keep them coming.
That's good, yeah. Especially keep them coming. We're heading into the most boring level. This is like the auto-scroller level of this game. In this level, everything is on a cycle that I can't control, and it's just really slow. You have to wait around a lot. It's really unfortunate. There's a little bit of speed tech coming up here right at the beginning, but basically I have to saw some logs here. This is Timber, so we have to help him do some logs. Oh, this is Woody. Sorry, not Timber. Woody with an I. It's in Japanese. It's throwing me off. Yeah, so we're gonna saw some timber for Woody here, and I actually can't tell when I'm supposed to go. There we go. Okay, cool. It being in Japanese kind of throws me off. There's a little bit of speed tech right here. If I only use like the bottom, I don't know, like 30 degrees on my joystick, it goes a lot faster to cut the wood. If you go like straight from like 180 degrees, like straight across, it goes really, really slow. So that's just some speed tech. If you ever want to run this game, you can saw some timber faster. And then we take the timber and we immediately throw it into what I assume is a shredder. It just like looks like a wood chipper, so we just throw it in there. And that's that puzzle done. I guess that's a puzzle. I don't know if you can call it that. But yeah, this is going to be filled with throwing a bunch of wood into these shredders. It's a great level. Really, it's just frustrating when you fail one of these puzzles because it wastes a bunch of time. So, and this is like right in the middle of the run, and you really hate to see a bad run through this level. So here I gotta drop. Yeah. Gotta get on the switch. Okay, cool. So here I gotta drop this wood, not like that. Gotta drop it on one of these moving platforms. I do have a little bit of a visual cue for that. So like right when the platform goes past the yellow notch, I wait about half a second and then I go. Some of these puzzles are actually really inconsistent. So like coming up, I have some circular wood. They're trees, so yeah, they're circular. But they behave really weird because of the hitbox. So like if you think about a circle, the hitbox is not like perfectly square. And depending on where you hit it, it kind of goes off in different directions. So this one's not too bad. First I gotta check the switch. I gotta make sure it works. It's like if you ever get tongs out of your kitchen, you gotta make sure the tongs work by clipping them. Now, if you don't do that, they don't work. So by making sure that that switch worked, I get that puzzle first try. It is a little bit of an actually difficult puzzle because if you hit it too early or too late, sometimes the wood just doesn't like to go into the chipper. It's kind of annoying. So yeah, we got another auto scroller section here. I gotta wait for this guy. This guy saws his wood really slow. He definitely doesn't have my wood sawing strats. But yeah, this is easy enough. You just kind of go back and forth between the conveyor belts. Only real speed tech here is to make sure to get off of the switch as quickly as possible and then start moving toward the next objective. So this is like the only change in these like Tony Hawk grind sections here where you gotta use your leg to grab the wood and throw it into the chipper. This seems like probably the most efficient one of their mechanisms that they've designed yet. You just kind of get on there and you throw it right into the chipper. So moving right along, we got this circular wood again. It's making a comeback. This is the hardest puzzle in the level. You have to wait and wait and wait, and then right at the right moment, knock it over to the other side. And it can actually get stuck on the sides of the platform there. It's really unfortunate when that happens. As far as I know, it's like really, it's not in your control to let it not get stuck, which, I don't know. This far into the run, you get really annoyed when it happens. But that's the end of the level, basically. I have one more little Tony Hawk Pro Skater grind coming up, and then we're done. So if you have anything else you want to plug, go for it.
Sure. I would like to use time to remind our viewers that we are raising money for Alzheimerfonden, and Alzheimerfonden is the Swedish national fundraising organization focusing on Alzheimer's disease and other dementia-related diseases. Alzheimerfonden's aim and purpose is to increase fundraising to the benefit of scientific research in order to find a cure for Alzheimer's disease. The World Health Organization classifies dementia as one of the world's greatest health problems. Just over 47 million people are affected. It is estimated that the number of dementia diseases in the world will have tripled up to 2050. So it's a very good cause, so please keep those donations coming. Thank you.
Alright, 4:30. That's actually like, that's like 5 or 6 seconds off the IL record. So that was a very, very good level, which is awesome because I choked level 2. That's okay, we're going. This is Blue Rapids. This is the longest level of the run. Basically, you're on this raft the entire time, except for the middle section, and you have to move this raft by moving your biped. Now, unfortunately, the movement of this raft is really inconsistent, at least the speed is. So there's like a cadence you want to do that is like slightly slower than your walking cadence, to get it to go as fast as possible. And I've done like a bunch of timing on this level to see exactly like what that cadence is, and I don't know like if it's the different sections of the river that determine it, or if it's like, I don't know, who knows what determines it. But sometimes a slightly faster cadence is better, and sometimes a slightly slower cadence is better. So yeah, this entire section I'm just moving, alternating my joysticks to make my biped walk on this boat. For some reason, there's a bunch of robots that are out on this river that are in their broken boats, and I have to save them because they thought it was a good idea to be a robot and go out on a boat in the middle of the river. So it's my job to help them, and I'm going to do it because I'm a biped and I want to help my fellow bipeds. This dude has a cool cowboy hat, and I respect that, so we're gonna keep moving. Basically, I have to get these guys into their little ports and help them out. So that was really bad. Well, I guess it's not really bad. It's a little bit bad. So generally, I want to make sure that my biped has a forward angle when I get him into the port, and that'll kind of drift me toward my next objective. So that's how you save a little bit of time in this section. There's really not any skips on this level. You just kind of go as fast as you can. There's one puzzle sequence break at the end. I'll give it one try, but it's really, really hard to do. I've probably only gotten it like once ever in my entire time playing this game, which is a lot of hours. So yeah, so we're gonna go rescue some more robots. So these guys right here, they decided it was a good idea to get both of them onto a raft and then tether that raft together. Like, I'm really not sure what they're doing out on this river. Like, this is not a good place for a robot, so we gotta help rescue them. In this section, we do have current, so there's a waterfall, if you couldn't tell, that I'm trying to fight against. So I take a very specific route through here to make sure that I don't have to fight the waterfall as much, and that saves as much time as you possibly can. So get these guys into their little port. This can be a little bit trolly because when you're moving one of them, the other one moves too because they're tethered together because they thought that was a good idea. So yeah, not a big deal. We're moving into the off-river section of this run. This part of the level is actually pretty cool. You have to do a couple of little puzzly sections as well as some like movement sections. In co-op, this is like the coolest section ever, but in single player, it's not as cool. You don't have somebody to help you out, so I just kind of got to move through these platforms. Sometimes I get stuck, sometimes they give me a boost, who knows. And then I got to punch in the secret code right here to make sure to get these platforms into the right spot. And again, I can't go too fast. If the platform is moving and I press the button again, it eats the input, but my biped still stays stuck there. So I don't want to do that. I want to go a little bit slow, just going to take my time. Not the biggest deal. Cool, so we got one more of these shape puzzles. Got to make sure to use all of the technology of this game. Got to go really slow here, wait for that circle to get into its spot, and then reverse the sequence. Cool, and then one more little section right here where I gotta dodge these, I don't know what you would call them, I guess they're little blockers. Get onto this section right here and just keep moving on. So don't worry, we'll get back to the river here in just a second. There are more derpy robots that decided to go out on the river while they're robots and get stuck there, so I gotta go help them. This section right here, so this is like the only part of the game where I found like a weird bug, but if you move too much, you can actually glitch out and like fall through your little platform right there, and it wastes a whole bunch of time because you have to respawn like all the way back on the upper platform. This is like one of the only stars in the game I get. This is actually faster to get, and I gotta kind of, I don't know, you like leverage the top guy around, and then I have to fight the river right here. I might fall off actually. Okay, cool. So this river, for some reason, it comes in waves. This waterfall is only flowing at certain times, I guess, but yeah, it's beneficial to me because it helps me save those bipeds from falling off. This rope is actually longer than the distance between these two docks, and you can get the rope stuck between your friend and the dock, and it makes it so it's uncompletable. If that happens, it's really, really bad. You have to like try to bounce them out of the dock and redo the puzzle. It's like super, super unfortunate. I've had a PB die to it. It took me probably like 30, 40 seconds to recover it. It was really, really not fun at all. Alright, moving into the last puzzle, the Blue Rapids. This is the one that I mentioned there's a skip for. So you see here, we got this waterfall, we got these two dudes that are like perched up on top of the waterfall. You can actually just take them both over, but it requires getting this guy to bounce off of this wall right here. I'm going to give it a try. I wasn't going fast enough. Okay, cool. So if you're going fast enough, you can get him to bounce off the wall, and you can get in between them and take them from the top. But it's really, really difficult to do. And like I said, I've only gotten it like once. I've probably tried for, I don't know, 2-3 hours and not gotten it a single time. It is used in the IL world record of this level, and it's, I don't know, it's just like absurdly hard to do. I think it's just a shout out to the skill of Arjaw, who has all the IL world records. So yeah, just kind of finishing this up. We have saved all of the cowboy robots that decided to brave the river. They were very brave on the river, but they needed our help, and we are a helper biped. We like to help people. Cool. Yeah, so that's basically the end of Blue Rapids. If you have anything else you want to plug, any donations, go for it.
I just wanted to say this game is so cute. I love it. I didn't know it before, but watching this one, it's so cute. I love it. Really. And I want to remind people that we have an open bid war going on for the next one, Crypt of the Necrodancer, where you can choose the soundtrack. And currently we have $40 towards the soundtrack Family Jewels 7X and $15 towards the soundtrack A Rival. And all the other options, which there are Danny B, Girlfriend Records, OC Remix, Rewipe, and Vert, have no dollars to them. So it's quite a steal to get the soundtrack you want. Keep those donations coming in. Thank you very much.
So yeah, no bias for Crypt of the Necrodancer, but you definitely want Family Jewels or OC Remix. Those are the two best ones. Alright, moving into the final level. This is Sunset Ridge. This level is like super, super hard to do casually. Well, okay, I say hard, but it's really not that bad. But it's very time consuming. Some of these puzzles are like actually difficult. This is like the first time the game decides to step it up. The co-op version of this level in particular is like really, really difficult. I did go through this with one of my buddies co-op, and it's like not fun. This is like when relationships are broken because the co-op is so difficult here. So yeah, here I just kind of move these platforms off to the side. These are like super strange. The more you wind them up, the slower this platform goes. So like in an ideal world, I want to wind them up the perfect amount where I can just kind of slide onto the platform and not waste time waiting for the platform to like go down. So you don't want to wind them too much. All right, moving on. This is like, this puzzle coming up is the bane of my existence. You have to bounce this ball into the little hole over there, but this this windmill thing in the middle is super, super inconsistent. So I kind of take my time on it, trying to make it more consistent, and I got it first try. Yeah, okay, I'm actually really happy about that. That's probably the puzzle I practice the most. It's terrible. And the co-op version's even worse. So if you decide you like pain, please play it on co-op. We do have some skips coming up. This is like probably the most broken part of this level. So we got these little bumper thingies, and you can just bounce off them in any direction you want. So I want to get some momentum here, and I completely skip a section of a puzzle right there. I didn't skip the puzzle there because I'm bad and I took a bad angle, but not a big deal. So we want to hit just the corner, and we land over here. And then there's one more skip coming up. So there actually is a skip right here. I can go down to like that center middle from up top, but you have to like spin your biped around like this. And you see how I'm like moving just a little bit? You have to do that and fall off the edge when your leg is fully extended to the side. It's like not in any way marathon safe. I've probably gotten it twice ever. It's really hard. So yeah, and there's the third skip. Glad I got that one first try. That one's actually really, really hard. You have to be like right on the furthest piece of terrain from the edge in order to do that, and then you have to stick your leg out to land on that middle platform. Yeah, happy I got that one first try. That one's cool. Cool. And then we got the second most frustrating puzzle up here. This one I'm like a super wuss about. I go really, really slow. But basically there's a ball and we're going to play Plinko with it. But there's only one winning tile here. Whereas in Plinko there are many winning tiles. So we got to move this platform right here. And this is probably the glitchiest section of the run. Like as in unintended glitches that just waste a bunch of time. So I'm going to go really, really slow here. This ball, like you see it's rolling slow, we're going to go that slow. But yeah, so my strategy here is I just kind of put 1 foot on this orange, just tap it real slow. And then I'm going to walk onto the orange when it hits the 3rd section of this little platform right here. So we got to wait, 3, okay, cool. And we wait, and we get off. Perfect, easy every time. That puzzle can actually waste minutes, and it's really hard to recover because that seesaw that you're on the bottom, like it can actually go all the way one direction and completely glitch out, and that's no fun. It wastes a bunch of time, so I don't want to do that. Cool. Some more of these like big drum puzzles coming up. We gotta get onto one side, maybe. Okay, cool. We gotta get onto one side, and this side controls the other side. So I want to be as far to the right as possible to make sure it spins as quickly as possible, and I got to get it into a position where I can walk across. So that is this position right here. I jump off the side. Your respawn point is actually on the other side, which is really handy because then I can just walk right across. This one you don't have the luxury of that, so I actually have to like get up the platform and do it as intended. Cool. And we're done. And we're almost done with this game. Yeah. We're moving on to the last puzzle. Maybe moving on to the last puzzle. So this one, you're meant to move both of the switches, but I'm going to do it with only one of the switches after I put this one into its initial position. That should be fine. And we have to use these already spinning, I don't know, I guess they're like pinball spinners? I don't know what to call them. And then this is a quick trick right here where you can just swoop it around to the top side and let it fall in. Cool. Alright, and time is coming up very, very quickly. So yeah, this is Biped. If you are interested in running this game, I really recommend it. The solo, any percent category is like super cool. But yeah, and 3, 2, 1, time. So yeah, that's Biped. Like I said, if you want to run it, the Discord is really, really helpful. There's not a lot of runners for the solo any percent category. Most people run the co-op category, but I think the puzzles in solo are way more fun. It's pretty legit. So yeah, if you have any inclination to run it, I'm more than happy to help you out. It's a really chill run. It's like 35 minutes, 40 minutes, and there's a lot of nice little break points. You don't have to be concentrated the whole time. There's a couple cutscenes. It's nice to kind of sit down and like decompress from a harder speedrun. But yeah, it's a really cute game. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. Yeah, and then shout outs to my buddies Panda and Nightmare that are watching that donated. They're super cool. And shout outs to the Street Boys. So yeah, that's all I have.
Thanks for the run.